Winter couldn't arrive soon enough. It might destroy our crops, but a bit of hunger is better than total annihilation. Although High King Tinkomaros, was safe in H2H, I still feared the worst for my close friend and general of my army, Dregenius. But the snow was nowhere to be seen, and the vengeful Heruskoz tribe had most likely seen the moves done by Dregenius, and therefore probably was in close pursuit. No doubt a battle will take place. But maybe it's actually happening right now. As our men were severely outnumbered, Dregenius decided to abandon the lower plateau and guard the path up the hill. He had placed countless barricades to slow down the enemy, giving plenty of time for the archers to do their work. Once they broke the barricades, they rushed towards our inferior units. They just had to hold them off. As the enemy had seen countless of their own troops surrender and rout, a few flaming arrows were all we needed to seal the deal. A heroic victory. I've never been more joyous to see a messenger in my entire life. A victory here meant more than anyone could imagine. And it all happened just in time, because as I looked outside, a small snowflake appeared. Winter has arrived. My armies are weak, and the snow, yet not the worst we've ever experienced, still denied any form of replenishment, and the expenses were too much for us as well. Hence, we did all we could to simplify our army, so logistics weren't a problem anymore. But despite the rough weather, we began improving our fishing docks. Our farmland might be destroyed, but the sea could still be used. During February, Dregenius told me the snow had eased up, and this meant the great pride of the Nervii would increase once again. Furthermore, a path towards the copper mines of Alabu had cleared up, symbolizing the unification process would continue once again. During the strategy meeting before Dregenius marched out, he explained there's a path to the road north, which had a small hill and forests all around it. This was the perfect place to lay an ambush. He also explained to me how we needed to declare war on them, encouraging the Kimbroz tribe to traverse this exact path. I must admit, I doubted his plans. You must agree with me on this one. He would risk the safety of our tribe by placing all of our forces on one road. If the Kimbroz falls for this, I'll grant him a proper army instead of these peasants and beasts he's commanding. As the Kimbri marched into the desired area where our men were, we would spring our trap. With fireballs, arrows, and speed, we would attack. The enemy stood no chance, with most of them getting eliminated. But few still got away. Cowards that don't deserve to live. Well, I am a man of my word. Dragonius continued his advance, eliminating the survivors of the battle, hoping the rest of the Kimbri wouldn't know of the events that just took place. But once this was completed, I ordered the veterans who served under my father to join the army. Now, all my good friend needed to do was to conquer the town. But this turned out to be easier than expected, as another Germanic tribe wanted to prove their worthiness towards my people and me by assisting us in the assault. With the town taken, all of Germania would be on our side. And while we were here, we took our time to improve the land by expanding the livestock farms. When summer arrived, we wanted to ease up a bit. After all, our lands were safe from all sides. But this turned out to be false, as a merchant who regularly traveled to the Atrebates tribe told me the walled city had been occupied by the Iceni from Britannia. This couldn't be accepted, as the Atrebates were a trade partner and a key part of my plan. We were still trading with them, of course, as they had found refuge in Eulibona, but something had to be done. Dragonius was recalled to Atotuca alongside Abalos, who would be granted an army for himself to command. We need every man and woman for this next move. I did what was expected of me in this position. I allowed the survivors of the Atrebates tribe to seek refuge in my land. Now I can officially call myself High King of Gallia as well. The former king, now servant of me, gave a detailed explanation of the whereabouts of the Iceni forces. Dragonius would prepare his troops for battle. But the same month, a strange trader arrived at my borders. He told me he came from a Greek colony called Massalia. It seemed like we had much in common, so trade was quickly established, with them even adding in the intel of other tribes who would be willing to do the same. Most interesting of them was the Lusitani. They seemed to be an ambitious tribe with even more formidable fighters. I fear they could become a problem in the future, but I actually doubt their inferior tactics ever will surpass the likes of Dragonius. After all, these people probably spend more time with sheep than their wives. Legendary sentence.